Hello, everyone, and welcome to FMK Anime. I'm your host, Meep, joined by my co-hosts, Makan and Dalaron. Say hi, you two.
Hello, it's me, the Viking barbarian. Wait,
I I just love
that
say
sounds
hi
right.
you two. Dun dun dun.
Hi, too.
No, don't fucking do that.
Do it again.
No, fuck you. Anyway, Makan, where can they find you?
Yeah. Well, you can find me on Twitter, where I've gone into hibernation once again, waiting for the next possum uprising. At that_Viking. Apart from that, I don't really do anything that's in the public eye except for this.
All right. And hi everyone. Dollar on Quest here. You already know. If excuse me, bad timing for a burp. But yeah, if you guys are already watching us live, thank you so much for being here. If you're catching us over on YouTube, you can catch us live Mondays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the D&D. Oh, wait, no. Now you got me fucked up. You guys can catch us here for FMK Anime. D&D's on Tuesdays at 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I also am going to be playing more games this week before the weather truly gets hot, if the weather has not already fully gotten hot. But, yeah. Catch us doing all that and more. Is everyone dead?
And you can find me on Twitter at soul_king777. But if you are a minor, do not follow me, or else I will take your kneecaps and use them to fight the white whale. There are boobs and butts on my timeline, so minors should not go there. Although you will anyways, because you're very naughty boys, and you will be punished to the furthest extent of the law.
Butts and boots and butts and boots and butts and boots and butts.
Although, off of Twitter, you can find me in a puddle in my basement, having become Fire Force.
That's me in a puddle. Losing my religion.
And this is a show where each week we watch a list of anime. We're almost done this season, and
Fucking crazy.
yeah, some stuff has been happening. But let's just start off with Super Cup, episode 12.
The season finale of Super Cup.
Yeah. Season
Really?
finale. She, Koguma, and Reiko travel across Japan to see the cherry blossoms bloom, and upon their return, she buys herself a Super Cub.
A Cooper Cub.
And they ride off into the sunset to find out the curse of the cub was in fact true. Legend says whenever someone rides past the cat trail, a faint honking can be heard.
Or something.
I loved
Miss Koguma?
this episode so much. And apparently I'm the only one.
I missed the first one. So I'm like, did he say love or hate? I'm not
Love.
sure.
I love this episode so much.
Oh yeah, it was fucking adorable. I love it. It's so good.
I
Just-
didn't realize it was the finale until the fucking end of the episode, and then they showed the title card, and it's like Super Cub, and I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, is this it? Is this the end?
I
all
like the
over
finale.
now.
I like the finale about as much as I liked most of the rest of the show. It was okay. I enjoyed it. It was cute, light and fluffy. It felt conclusive in its own way, but much like all Super Cub episodes, when I get to the synopsis and started writing it, I realized a lot of little moments happen, but not a lot that's important. And that's okay. That's the strength of the show. It makes you enjoy these little moments, even if they aren't important. But
Oh, you're gonna get.
well, I got it from the start. It's just at the start I didn't enjoy those little moments, and at least now I'm finding myself, or at least finding things in these little moments to enjoy. But at the end of the day, my overall feelings on this show kind of stayed the same. I don't think I would have enjoyed it unless I was watching it for the show, and it might be a bit meta, but knowing that the show is probably going to last to the end, I kind of tried to find things in the show I liked, which, hey, I succeeded. Unlike with Kuma Bear, where it was just like, nothing about this does anything for me.
I
And
mean,
honestly,
you really try and do that with anything you watch or enjoy. Look for something you like in it, even if you have your gripes with it.
yeah. And honestly, I think Reiko is the saving grace of this show for me. If Reiko wasn't in the show, I don't think I would have enjoyed it nearly as much.
Reiko's strong, man. Like, Reiko's super strong. To this day.
Reiko.
She was strong in this episode, too.
You want to know something funny? For me, out of the three ghosts we know, I think she's probably the one I like the least.
Really?
But curry is meant to be eaten naked, Makan.
I mean, here's the reason why I don't like her. She's just me, but a fucking woman.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
I wouldn't fuck me. I'm a mess.
And that's why I like her. See, a lot of shows in previous seasons, like in fall and in winter, and even in this season, there have been a lot of shows where it's just like, where's the fun? Stuff is happening, but where's the fun? The fun is missing. Reiko brings the fun to this show, which is why I adore her. Like, for example, let's use Seven Nights. Like, I was when we were watching Seven Nights, I was understanding what was happening. I knew what was happening, but no one brought the fun. But in this, Reiko brings the fun. She just comes up, what? It's been 2 episodes and there's no fun? Slaps it on the table. This is fun. I'm going on a journey driving up this mountain. You are going to watch this and enjoy it. And I think that was the first episode. No, the first episode I gave the fuck to was 3. But then that episode happened. That's what made me start enjoying the show a lot more.
I'm not saying she's a bad character. She's definitely a lot of fun, and while I don't think she quite steals the show all on her own, I think it's kind of her chaos being constantly reined in by Koguma's kind of straight man act to her chaotic act is what makes it really fucking work.
Speaking of Koguma, while I've had my gripes with her character throughout the series, and I also have issue with, like, alright, let's have very minimal character development and throughout the series, and then have it come in this like cacophonous swell at the very end, and we start seeing all of the character development come through in the last episode. But that being said, I still really enjoyed seeing Koguma being like fucking really attentive and considerate and just a really good friend to Shi, as well as her relationship with Reiko just be this like just sisters in arms.
Yeah.
It really is a fucking sibling relationship, isn't it? Constantly bickering while still being very good friends.
Yeah.
But now my one question is, when they were on the beach, Koguma mentioned how Reiko would sell her Super Cub to buy a surfboard. Is that how Reiko has her money? Does she just sell Super Cubs that she finds and fixes up? I need to know. Where does
cubs.
Reiko's money come from?
Yeah, she's fucking right. Like, what happened in today's episode that made me think like, oh, she's got money.
Drugs, hardcore drugs is where they're coming from.
Something happened this episode that made me think about this to me, and I don't remember if it was a surfboard conversation or
Was it when she wanted to eat at all the fancy restaurants? Or was it just the lingering feeling in the back of your mind, finishing the show and going, but wait, I need to know where she gets her money, though. I need to know.
I mean, the only comment about someone's money really was Eniwa, who has apparently had a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, she split the cup price with her father.
Well, yeah, but she also she also spent half the price for a brand new cub on her own.
Yeah.
Might have been kind of like it was a brand new markdown, but that's not a huge discount on that kind of thing.
Yeah, and she gets her cub. End of the episode, she gets her cub. Yep. And it's cute. This like mini cub.
It's so fucking cute.
I thought it was a Vespa at first.
Can't wait for the movie when they tackle the ultimate challenge of climbing Mount Fuji.
I'd watch a Super Cub movie. I'd pay money to watch a Super Cub movie.
Fuck, I mean, any opportunity someone gave me to watch more of this, I'd go for the throat.
Yeah. This
Fair
this
enough.
is such a yeah. And Yua gets her cub, and she's just a sweetheart. And I still think the emotional scene from last week's episode did not really get the full gravity of it. But seeing Koguma actually like not verbally reciprocate, but like internally process and like really want to do this herself, but also like improve. She's like realizes someone is depending on her. It was just a really nice change of pace for the character, and the whole journey. Like this episode is gorgeous. Like the art style comes into full fruition, and any small little gripes I had with it before all fall by the wayside as the art style fully falls into place. Seeing these three like girls go through all of like southern Japan all the way down to like the lowest point to catch spring is an adventure I would want to have in my life myself.
It is a fantastic road trip for these three people. While I've not been on many road trips in my life, all of them I've been on have been enjoyable.
So, to give some context of the mindset I watched this episode in, I had started the episode, the first 3 minutes had passed by, and I got a call from some friends who were very inebriated, and they wanted me to go pick them up and be the designated driver. I went, okay, I did, and I got there. But what I didn't realize is they wanted me to take them to the river, which in of itself was a journey. Brought them to the river. We ended up going to a secret part of the beach that they knew about, and I ended up getting my shoes all muddy, and by the time I got home, the shoes were wrecked. Uh, I I was not in a fantastic mood when I watched this because I was feeling sick and a lot of unforeseen factors happened. But this show did make me feel a bit better about it, and
Uh,
it was really light. It was really light and fluffy, really cute. I wouldn't. I'm not going to say I enjoyed it a whole lot, but I enjoyed the experience with it. It's just the light and fluffiness of it. It can help out if you're not doing fantastic.
that's absolutely true. I watched this episode. I mean, as all of you know, I watched this episode. I watched Super Cup twice. And I watched it after Tokyo Revengers, and then again walking home from the doctors. Um, it gave me that same feel good vibe that I got from episode one, where, but except it was in a different way. And I was thinking about this. I'm like, why? I'm still enjoying Super Cup, but like, why am I not getting that same level of like pure relaxation like I did in episode one? And just, it's always a good time. It's always chill, except for those like two weird and kind of bad episodes. But what is it about like what why isn't it hitting me the same way? And like this episode still didn't hit exactly the same way, but it was the natural progress of thing. The color flushed into the show the moment they made that they made that left turn. And then everything else from there has just been this feel good time. This perfect full circle of just relaxation and like you say fluffy wholesomeness. uh we see Koguma have friends now. We see Koguma reflect, well, obligatory reflect on her experiences, but we also just see everyone just kind of like enjoying driving their super cubs or whatever, their motorcycles, their bikes cross country, and watching water and seeing nature. Apparently, Japan has fucking sand dunes. That I had to look that up.
I'm I'm always a sucker for the main character reflecting on their journey at the
Mm,
end of a series. I'm always a sucker for that. That's a big part of why I fucking loved the finale of the show
Vivi,
that
yeah,
ended last week.
yeah, Vivi, yeah.
I'm always a sucker for that, and I think I'll ask when we get to the other show that kind of had a pseudo finale. But yeah,
Um, I do have to probably defend my main girl Koguma a bit more because, like you said, she wasn't like vocally kind of dealing with the entire situation with she, but I just think she's kind of incapable of doing so with her introverted nature. But she knows that she relies on her now, and she wants to kind of be stoic and be someone she can rely on. While also clearly wanting to do anything she could to help her while keeping that aura up, because she decided to take a roundabout route to show her a bunch of things that might inspire her for her own cafe.
Yeah.
The other stuff as well. It's just fucking. It's the same kind of subdued kindness that, like,
No, I
it's a
completely
very
yeah.
it's a very masculine thing to do, really. So it's kind of strange to see on a
Ah.
female character. I mean, no, if you're really honest, a lot of guys I know, they won't show affection openly, but they'll do small and subdued gestures that to kind of hide how they care in that kind of sense. Because that
Mm.
is definitely a thing I've seen with that a lot of the time, and I don't know. I've picked up on that from a lot of people I've known through my time being alive, and just it's much better to talk about your feelings and stuff, but that's not always easy. And this shows that clearly she cares. I mean, Kog'Maw might think she's being sneaky about it, but fucking hell, if both of them don't know what the fuck she's doing with it.
Yeah. No, you make a good point. Yeah, the gender role certainly exists, and yeah, no, I see your point. I love that about Kokomo this episode, seeing her
Oh,
exactly take she into full consideration, and then noticing her kind of like shifting on the bike, and like instead of being like, "Hey, do you need to go to the bathroom?" just being like, in Kokomo's very blunt and kind of socially dull way, being like, "All right, let's take lunch," and then pulls up to a bathroom, and then she just runs to the bathroom.
yeah, I mean, also she knowing that
Anyone
Kog'Maw,
runs.
Kog'Maw knowing that anyone would also be kind of embarrassed about it, just went, all right, we're taking a break for lunchtime. I'm hungry.
Also, that bread looked good. Not gonna
Oh, it
lie. Yeah, when they were
just
cutting the
fucking,
bread, I could smell
fucking
it.
smoked salmon. Oh fuck.
Local smoked salmon.
Also,
See,
just how Reiko's is like her looking at the guns like, ah, funny, but she clearly has. It's just kind of like a military buff as well as the
Yeah,
fucking super cup buff. It's just like, yeah, I feel like a Russian
it,
or German soldier. Now they just need some bacon and eggs.
bacon and
it's
peas.
Bacon and peas. That was it.
it's the opposite for me because I hate fish, I hate cream cheese, and unless it's on a grilled cheese or French toast, I don't like bread. So that would have been the worst meal for me.
But like you're in Canada, like is Nova Scotia's Canada, right?
Nova Scotia is Canada, but it's also on the other side of Canada.
Ah, okay. I know like Nova
I
Scotian like smoked salmon is like a delicacy.
I live in western Alberta, right near the border of British Columbia. So
Okay.
I am on the part of I'm on the part of Canada that is basically just America too.
Electric Boogaloo?
Yes, I mean Alberta is known as Texas too for a reason.
Ah, so you're living in like the stairwell of the crackhead basement or crack house basement.
Yeah, as much as I'm like, yeah, at least I don't live down there. I every now and again I look on trending and see the what's the word, secede Alberta secede trend, and I just get shivers. It's like, well, if that ever happens, guess I have to move to Quebec.
Dun-dun!
Drunk with Quebec.
Oh, thanks.
No one likes Quebec, not even Quebec.
Aw. Sad.
I have repressed feelings about Quebec.
Anyway, back to Super Cub.
Um, also, kind of what cemented my thought if that's how Kog'Maw acts, and like she wants to be stoic and reliable for her friends and whatever they might be dealing with. Kind of was cemented to me with the scene when like she was talking to her parents, like it's fine if something happens to me, Kog'Maw will help me out, and then Reika saying like, yeah, and if something happens to me, she will help me out, and then Kog'Maw going, yeah, if something happens to them, well, if something happens to me, well, my cub will fix it. I mean, I kind of was like, all right, it should have been better if you closed the full circle, but at the same time, I kind of see how you're like, well, if we all rely on each other, that's not an
it's
anchor.
It's still amazing for me. You go ahead, me. If you go first.
I felt so bad for Reiko. Her loose cannon energy works against her. She's untrustworthy.
Oh, she's super untrustworthy.
No, I think when push comes to shove, she's super reliable, but she's also someone who would
Oh.
get you into the mess in the first place.
Yeah, no,
she's super reliable, but
yeah, no,
reliable and trustworthy are two different things.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you'll get into the shit with her, but I mean, she'll fucking like give you the opportunity to run away while she goes to jail.
Well, she goes to.
Yeah, sure. I can rely on Reiko to get me out of the shenanigans, but she's the one that got me there in the first place.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, no,
I mean, she's reliable. She's not trustworthy. And I mean, like, Reiko going like, "Yeah, I'll take care of your daughter." She's like,
What's Kokoma? Even my super cub can outrun the cops. She says, holding the body.
No, if I was the parents of fucking anyone, I'm just like Reiko went like, "Yeah, I'll take care of her. I'm sure I trust that."
Rick. Oh, you thought my parents were rich? No, I'm just a robbery. Or a robber.
Oh, I am a robbery.
I'm a robber.
I'm a one-woman robbery.
I'm the law.
Reiko can rob me of my senses.
The most powerful weapon in Japan. A switchblade.
Broken bottle.
No. The Honda brand Super Cub battle axe.
Are we okay? Are we ready for cards?
I don't know. I feel like we should talk about the finale a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay. I just don't know what else there is to discuss, really.
At the same time, no, you kind of make a good point. This is what, again, the show's kind of hard to talk about in detail because you have to really go into detail because the show, one of its greatest strengths is its attention to detail. And before I say detail, I would ask Detail Makan, how is it that you still, like, it blows my mind that, like, the commercial aspect of this, the branding, the promotional commercial aspect of this show doesn't hit you because when she's like, and if anything happens to me, I'll have to rely on my Super Cub, and I'm like, okay, Honda, we get it, we fucking get it.
I can't say it doesn't at all, but when that scene happened, I rolled my eyes, then I paused the show and simply just went like, okay, so let's just fucking not think about it being a commercial. What does that say about Koguma as a character? And then I came to the thing like, well, with how everything is happening in the conversation that was just happening with Eniwa's worried parents after the situation that happened recently, I mean, she's wanting to be reliable not only for Eniwa, but also her parents.
I am surprised.
It's just, I've been... I don't need to think long about it, but there's always quite the golden lining or something very solidly steeped in the personality of the characters if you look further than, oh, it's just a commercial about it. Like, me coming up with that took me like a minute.
Yo, guys, not gonna lie, I just looked up a mini cub, and a 2019 mini cub is... It is.
In general, we'll look at it.
I'll put it on the screen right now.
Hell
There you
yeah.
go, Honda. We're upping your...
We are the commercial now, motherfucker!
You know, it was a bold choice of Teppei to make Super Cub canon in the ReZero universe.
God damn it.
Super, really trying hard to sell those cubs.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is fire.
That is sleek.
Yeah.
Laugh at my joke.
No.
No.
The fucking white and like navy blue like body and like that red seat, that is... Ooh. I
Very good.
want a mini cub now, although I'm pretty sure I am too big to be on a mini cub.
Probably.
I am a 6'2", 205 weighted man. I don't think I can fucking ride a mini cub. Well, I'm 215 right now.
It's clear to see how some people can fall in love and make it so much of their personality or something. But I do want to say, like, it. Sure, the commercials might be laid on a little thick, but if you really think about it, it's from how we've seen about the characters and how they've been acting, has any of them really been too out of place?
I can only think of the one, and that was when, or one and a half, and the one was when they were out driving on the field trip. They had a really egregious one. I think that was the first one where Dal, you went, yeah, no, that one was a bad one. And
Yeah.
then the other, and a half is because I can see where Koguma's coming from, but at the same time, it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Was when she went, "Don't thank me, thank my Super Cub," and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah. The one in the field trip. Well, jeez, my voice fucking disappeared for a second there.
Cool.
The one in the
Yo.
field trip. What was that one specifically again? Because I think I've fucking forgotten that one.
You guys want to see the? Sorry, I am perusing Super Cups now. What the fuck is happening?
No, Dell, the advertisement's working. Stop.
You guys want to see? You guys want to see the newest Honda? Oh, I mean, it's posted in January. The K Storm
No,
Super Cub.
Don't let the corporation get a hold of you. Dell, no.
I mean, I've been wanting I've been wanting a motorcycle. So look, yo, Makan, check this shit out. Check this baby out.
Ooh.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, that's actually real fucking nice.
Right? I fucking what? That does not look like a scooter.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not a fucking scooter.
Just buy a Harley.
I do want a
No,
Harley.
just buy this. Buy this, baby.
Wait, did he say you can't drive a Harley, or you don't want a
I
Harley?
want a Harley, yeah. However, I want one with like an engine that isn't as obnoxious as most Harley Davidson engines are.
Ah, well then why not get a crotch rocket?
I don't want to have kids yet.
Don't tie fireworks to your cock.
I've always been a fan of those motorcycles, the ones that like. I've always known them as GTA motorcycles because they're the ones that you find in GTA. But I know that's not what they're called, and I know crotch rocket isn't the right name either, so I don't know what the fuck to call them.
Well, moving away from talking about actual motorcycles, let's talk about a show about motorcycles. I do want to bring up my favorite part of the entire show, which has been the last few slides we've been on this right at the end here. The like photograph montage and how it just starts off just Cobra being like, these guys are real fucking expensive, and then both Eniwa and Reiko just pulling up cameras like, and then just cutting to the fucking gremlin blur. Like, wait, what? No.
Yeah. I love that whole scene. I rewatched it like 7 times. Well, no, like more like 4 or 5 times. But yeah, just the like her frowning and then both of them pulling out phones and then the fucking blur followed up by her like fucking grabbing Reiko by the collar, like, you bitch, you fuck.
That's so fucking good.
Apparently, I can buy a Super Cup for $4,000.
That's actually cheaper than I thought.
That's right. Moriarty and Megalobox both had their finales as well.
Oh man!
Can we stop getting off tangent? Jesus!
I love this show, but it's now inspired me to look into other things. Go on.
I was looking at chat, and one of the names reminded me.
It's been a minute since I looked at chat. Hi, chat.
Also, was there anything else that you two wanted?
Yeah, we probably should. Yeah, we probably should get a little bit more focused in onto the actual show. Sorry, guys.
Apart from the like entire montage of just how every scene it is so fucking cute, Reiko not having fished up a fish, but getting some old guys to take a picture with her with one to make it look like she did.
So fucking
funny.
Yeah, that's so dumb, but I loved it.
God damn it, Reiko. If only you were a few years older.
Indeed. I mean,
apart from that, Also, your comment from a few weeks ago about how the show kind of lost its fucking like landscape shots. License slander.
I never said it lost it. I said it kind of, you know, it got worse.
Yes, license slander. They're perfect.
See, I think its landscape shots are really good, but the actual like whenever it's not a landscape, the animation art style, it doesn't do much for me.
Mm.
Like, I don't know.
I personally liked the I personally really like the art style. It's very unique. It's very soft. It leans into its expressions. That's another thing that's really good about this episode is that the expressions this episode are fantastic. The amount of emotion, joy, and just like awkwardness, just pure friends hanging out with friends.
Oh yeah, I mean the expressions have been even better than they usually are in this episode, but the expressions in general in this show are so crazily well done.
Cool.
Just the hidden little details in how their faces emote, telling just can reveal so much of their fucking thought process in the moment, and it's. I don't think I've seen any anime that actually puts that much effort into how someone's face contorts in their emotions.
I've definitely
You know,
seen other anime like put that much detail in, but I just loved how expressive and soft and malleable everyone's faces and expressions are, and that's what I meant. Like, you put it well, like, and I think the art style actually allows that to happen. It's a big part of it.
I can think of a couple other shows, even from this season, that I think does just as well with that. But although my question is, of the three girls, who do you think you would be? I think I'd be Reiko.
I mean, I mentioned it earlier. I mean, Reiko's basically just female me now that I fucking think about it. If you asked me that question about 3 years ago, I'd say Koguma completely because I was also in her kind of situation a long time.
Yeah, it's hard for me. I mean, they're different characters from me, so I, eh,
Fair enough.
yeah, yeah.
I feel like if she and Reiko had a baby, that would be the kind of energy I get off of you.
I'll take it.
Because you can be Gremlin, but you can also be a bean.
It's true. True. The duality of man. But yeah,
I'm
no,
just a
this.
gremlin. Meanwhile, I'm just a gremlin.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, this episode, I think we are getting close to wrap it up. The one thing that like I do want to mention since we brought up the art style itself is that the this episode, I mentioned it before, but this episode is super pretty. Like the amount, just the water alone. First of all, so much water. Second of all, like it looked fantastic, especially when they pulled up to the beach. And like you see the waves kind of like on the sand. That looked delightful. The surfer in the water, all of it looked delightful. However, the one thing that looked really bad, that ship, like that big barge going through the river when they stopped in the city, looked really fucking shit. Like it looked too.
Even. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what's up?
I was just. Even cubs can travel the ocean.
Yeah, that scene exactly. And when they show the fucking big ship, I'm
I,
like, oh, this looks bad and sounds bad. I hate this.
I,
Fucking laughed.
I might have not noticed the ship at all because I was just sitting there going like, well, no, they can't. They can stand on a ship as that travels the ocean, but
I
Oh
was
god.
laughing at
I'm
that
glad you enjoyed
fucking
it.
dumb comment.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
That one. Now I remember 2.5 egregious ones.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. Great balls of fire.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think that one's that bad. But I'm like, that's a bit strange. What the fuck? What are you on about?
So forgiving for the Shomakan.
I'll be forgiving when I can see something passive. That one's just like, no, just wrong.
Just wrong.
You're wrong. They can't traverse water. The boat they're standing on can. Does Honda come out with their fucking, oh, we have jet ski attachments to our fucking Super Cub?
Yeah, I was
They're
waiting for that.
Are
I would love an amphibious bike. What?
no,
Oh, that'd be badass as fuck, but I doubt it's happening.
Anytime soon?
What you
You
don't
don't know.
what you don't realize is they're actually making a brand of boat called Super Cub, but there's a E. The E is silent, so it's Super Cube, but the E is silent.
I'm
No,
disconnecting me from the call.
It's Super Cub with an E, but everything apart from the E is silent, so it's just Honda E.
You guys are dumbasses. Let's hold up cards.
Yes, I am.
I'm gonna fuck this episode. When I watch the episode, it. I guess I can get into my overall feelings during the actual retrospective, but when I watch the episodes, they're light and fluffy. I don't think I would have watched it for my own personal enjoyment, but as I watched it and what I got out of it, I'm gonna give it the fuck. It's the journey to get here was worth it, I think.
John, you want to go first, or should I, Makan?
Go first.
Hmm?
You can go first.
All right. I'm fucking this show. I love this show. This was a fantastic end of the episode for a show with no drama, no build-up. There have been other shows that do like young girls discovering themselves through, through mutual interests and, going on a journey. But like it oftentimes, at least the ones that I've had experience with, it's usually has like the plot has some kind of dramatic aspect to it, like, you know, oh, the parents have gone missing, or dead parents, or
Our club is being shut down. Some of the new
yeah,
threats.
yeah, clubs being shut
Oh.
down, like our friend's gone missing, or we need to, like, we're having a fight. This is just three girls experiencing life after becoming friends over a mutual hobby and then learning about each other's other interests. Except for Kokoma, who has no other interests. But that's okay,
You,
because at the end of the day, Koguma cares. The show's really pretty. Its art style grew on me fully at the last episode. I love its attention to detail. She with her little Italian jumper, because of course she would have an Italian jumper. She's an Italiophile. Um, and I also realized watching this episode that the seasons in the opening are actually the seasons that we go through the show. We start off in the summer, we go into autumn, winter, and then spring. That's the same transition in the show's opening, and I thought that was really cute and a nice touch. All in all,
Yeah.
love this
Well,
episode, fucking this show, and I have a hard decision to make next week for marriage.
and you could just say the name of the other show you're pointing at, a place further than the universe.
no, no.
You can aim the gun at it. No one will blame you.
I also want to bring up another point about the thing you were saying about the seasons shifting in chronological order. I don't know. I think me pointed that out like last week or the week before that.
Oh, really?
When he noted, yeah, I remember someone of us pointing that out, but I don't remember who it was. I think it was me. But I also want to mention at the very end, at the last scene when they're driving through the road with the cherry blossoms as well.
So pretty.
I don't know for sure, but it sure seems to be the same road as the opening.
Oh, really? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, no, I honestly of the things in the show, I think the opening might be my favorite part, just because the opening's really light and fluffy, and it's the show exemplified.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Yeah, I should probably go into my thing. The visuals are amazing. The light story with no stakes and just sweet and lighthearted things of growing up and finding your hobby and what you have a burning passion for, and the people to share that with is so strong in the show, and it doesn't need any superfluous stuff except for that. And something I didn't realize until the last episode was just how much I fucking love the music in this show. Because when they had that, like, whistling version of the opening in the fucking road trip, I just found myself whistling along, hitting every note, and I'm fucking tone deaf. And I just kind of caught myself just whistling, and I'm like, it just, because just whistling that just made me feel happy. And I need to listen to that a lot so I can just whistle out every day because it'll just make me feel happy instantly. And if that isn't a glowing fucking praise for a show like this, I don't know what it is, and I could not give it more of a throbbing fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Right on, man.
Alrighty, that is a trifecta for Super Cup episode 12, the finale. Now let's move on to Tokyo Revengers episode 2, which is not or episode 12.
Episode 2. Let's go. We're going back in time.
We're going back 12 years, boys.
Damn it, Meep, you clapped Naoto's cheeks.
Tokyo Revengers episode 12, which is a finale to the arc, but not the show. So I'm not not the season, so I'm not putting down finale. But what happens is Takemichi goes with Naoto to see Hina, but both of them are awkward, and Takemichi keeps convincing himself that Hina must have forgotten him. Akun remembers there's still 150 chapters left to go and decides to reset the status quo by ramming himself and a car into Hina at high speed, killing her and himself in a glorious explosion.
Fucking hell. You're right, I was gonna do the fucking synopsis.
He had to reset the status quo.
I have mixed feelings about this episode.
Can we just get something on fucking Kiseki other than he's scary?
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Is the weakest. Kiseki is the weakest fucking antagonist because we don't get anything from him.
I mean, at least we're building up anticipation about what it might be and being allowed to think about it instead of just, some other shows.
It's not even build up though, because it's essentially the same. At least it's not as much of a at least it's not treated with the same weight as when we got Akun jumping off the roof, but it felt like the same thing. Like, oh, I'm scared of Kiseki. He's scary. I want to see something from him.
Give me something.
Because at least, and I know what you're pointing to, at least with the archive, the concept kept me interested. But the concept of Kiseki isn't keeping me interested.
You see, I was pointing at Toke, but the archive is equally bad.
Yeah, at least we got stuff out of that.
Yeah.
So we got about just as much. Scary terrorist organization. That's it.
Yeah.
Scary gang member. That's it.
Kiseki, I'm listening to what you guys are saying, and I'm like, maybe Kiseki isn't hitting for us because, like, we all knew Kiseki's the real problem, right? We all know that, and the show kind of is like, well, no, if we can just save Draken on August 3rd and he doesn't die and his relationship with Mikey gets repaired, everything will be okay. And like, we're all sitting here like, what? No, it's fucking not. Another issue will come up. Something else is gonna happen. But the show's like, no, it's totally gonna be okay, really, guys.
At the same time, now, I would go as far as saying everything will be okay, but I was never gonna imagining that everything was gonna be okay because we know the story continues further than that. But no matter what, when he saves Draken, shit changes. The future has changed wildly.
Which I know we're probably going to get answers at some point, but begs the question, why did they wait 12 years to take out Hina and Takemichi?
I don't know. That's probably we're going to find out. We don't know that yet.
I expect us to get answers. I
don't expect us to get answers.
This just leads me to go back to my theory. Back when Aku jumped off the roof, is Kiseki another fucking time traveler? Because he seems to have something out for Takemichi and not wanting him to save Hina. Like,
yeah, and furthermore, it's like not only is he a time traveler, but do people know about Takamichi being a time traveler? Because Akun's like, save us. I'm like, what the fuck are you, what?
I mean, we established that Akun believed that he could travel through time last timeline, but that poses the question of why the
Why?
fuck does he think that
Yeah.
also has something to do with Kiseki probably being a time travel and maybe telling him before ordering him to kill himself of taking him with him. That's just my guess, and I hope that's not the case. And I feel like we're gonna get an explanation at some point. I just don't think it's gonna be satisfying.
Yeah, you know, I think it would have worked better for me if we didn't have a name for him yet. If we didn't have a name or a face, because we have a face and a name for him.
I
We
disagree.
know he exists. We like if they kept more mystery about him other than just because we don't know who he is in a personal sense, but we know his identity. It's I feel like because with this whole mystery angle of trying to keep him mysterious, I don't think at least it doesn't work for me because I have a name and a face to put to him, and I'm just like, okay, but when is Takamichi gonna realize that this person he knows exists and was told is the cause of this issue, that he's the fucking cause of this issue?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I don't know. We've really been bringing up JoJo ever since me started watching it, but the main antagonist of Part 5 works that way, apart from them not dropping their name, not dropping how they look, not dropping really anything except for their occupation in whatever they're dealing with. And that brings mysteriousness, and we don't know what they're capable of. We don't know who they fucking are, but they sure are a threat. That's probably what they should have done because, yeah, this gives us a face of like, well, just go now to, hey, this guy, give me information about him. Go back in the past with a fucking gun and shoot him.
I mean, on the real, I mean, getting a gun in
Yeah, like
Japan is hard though.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, but all right, sure. Um, that is true. It's not America when you can go to Walmart as a 5-year-old and get a gun.
then drive a car into him. You seem to not care if your underlings drive a car into other people.
Yeah, that seems to be the operative form of death, is just driving a car into people.
Though, let's talk about that. Fucking hell, was that scene brutal?
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Was she cut in half?
Yes!
I don't know if she was cut in half, but she definitely had like her lower body completely pierced with the car body.
If she was not cut in half, she was fucking damn near cut in half.
Yeah.
Because it looked like there was something completely separating her top half and bottom. I'd have to take a look at the screenshot again, but I thought she got like bisected for a
I'm
second.
pretty sure the car was just crushing her lower body, like everything. Like she was definitely not in one piece. I'll put it that. But I think the crushed car body was ripping into her lower body. It's a common. Apparently, it's a common thing because there have been other shows that have had this kind of death before, where someone just starts going like, "I can't feel my lower body" because it's been crushed, and it has gone completely like numb. Like there's so much pain, your adrenaline just completely cut off that part of your body.
Truck Coon strikes again.
Also, where the fuck was he driving an APC?
No, it's not an APC. That's like a SUV.
It looked like a fucking APC, and I saw the car when they first got to the park.
Yeah,
Also, watch your mic, meet.
Oh, sorry. That was another thing about this episode that I kind of had mixed feelings on is like it kept showing that truck and making it really important in some focus shots. It's like I get they were trying to build like, oh, what's gonna happen, but I don't know. I felt they played that card a little too much in this episode.
It might just be me being a dense motherfucker, but I never noticed it.
Yeah, I noticed it at least once when they first got to the park. The car was that I even went like, is that an APC just rolling down the street? And then we saw that car running toward it.
It was following them ever since they left the apartment. That's why I noticed it so much.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. Then it's in the background on something that can be noticeable, but I didn't pay attention to it because I'm like, yeah, they're on a road, cars make sense. They're in a parking lot, cars make sense.
Well, even in the shots where Naoto's driving, like there are times where that truck is in more focus than the car, and it's like, wait, why are they doing that? And then when they showed it the second time, once Naoto gets out of the car and Takamichi starts driving, and you see which. Oh wait, no, Hina went in the front. For a second there, I was remembering Hina staying in the back. I'm like, Takamichi, you're not going to tell her to get in the passenger seat?
No, he knows driving.
Ah,
I don't think Takamichi has a license.
fair enough. Either way, I noticed that. I guess I just noticed it a lot more. But yeah, no, the fact that it was in focus like 4 different times, it just like, okay, what's gonna happen? Takamichi runs to the bathroom, then you see Hanma. It's like, okay, it's happening finally.
Yeah. Also, like grown up Hanma, hate to give it to him, looks suave.
Yep.
Which also a bit confused. Like, I was hoping we could get you both out in one shot. It's like, no one's here, dude. You could probably take this kid right here.
Yeah,
You're gonna definitely kill this nerd.
it really does feel like there's built up, because if not, then these people are just behaving stupidly, and that's lame.
Yeah, and also just I do want to just more of the impact of the actual fucking death scene. Like his best friend, he thought he saved, just bleeding out in front of him, and then fucking exploding.
Takamichi got exploded twice.
Yeah.
How did no shrapnel shred his organs?
Seriously.
No. Shrapnel, sure, but I mean, yeah, whatever.
Has everyone here seen the video of the woman setting someone's car on fire and then just the gas exploding and her just being fucking concussed and like monkey running away, like crawling across the floor on all fours?
No, but that sounds fucking hilarious.
It's hilarious, and it's stupid because I mean I don't know the full story, but point is it's just a video of this chick pouring gasoline into a car and then just lights a match and throws it in, or like lights something on fire and just throws it in through the window, and then it just goes boom and she falls over backwards because Honey did not understand how gasoline works. The reason I bring this up now is Takamichi should not have been okay after that.
I think he is not really. I think that's just adrenaline or fucking explosion is fine.
I mean, it's drama. I get it.
It's up in the air. It's supposed to be drama effect, but just realistically, he should probably have been further away when all that was when those explosions was happening to get him like thrown back, but not seriously injured. But just the emotional part of it for me, just seeing your best friend that you fucking thought die, like that you saw die before, but you managed to save his life, dying again because apparently what you did was not enough, and then the only woman you've loved in your entire life, when you fucking made up your mind to reconnect and make the plunge to try and make that work, also fucking dying essentially in his arms.
That was a really cute scene.
What, the explosion?
No, the fucking in the past, in the present, in the future, I will always love you. And I was like, oh.
Oh yeah, that is solid.
And then we get the big. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go on, do your thing first.
I was just gonna say we get the really big moment of him being like, "That's it, I've made up my mind, Hina. Not only am I'm gonna save everyone, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna become the head of Toman, and I'm just da 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 da.
It's a cool declaration, but at the same time, it makes perfect fucking sense as well, because if he's the head of Toman, none of this shit happens.
What if Kiseki is the original time traveler and he's just trying to stop Mikey Takamichi from becoming head of Toman?
What if Kiseki is actually Mikey's dead brother?
Yeah, there's a number of things in this episode that I wasn't a fan of, but we'll get to that in a second. Makan, you had something you wanted to say before, right?
No, that was the like the ending thing of just his conviction sure, it's him vowing a promise again, but this one feels much more stronger than any of the other one.
Yeah.
Promised Hina that he will do this, and his goal being much more lofty and long lasting, but also in the end being the resounding and absolute solution to all of this.
I, Takamichi, have a dream.
God damn it.
Hey, he's gonna become Hokage. I mean, leader of Thoman.
Listen. What we don't know about Takamichi's parents is that one of them actually has the body of their adopted brother.
Yeah, no, I have the scene at the end was really cool, but like it as much as I enjoyed it, I am feeling apprehensive because the show has done this before. We've had Takamichi be like, I've decided I'm going to do this thing, and then he proceeds to not do this thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the entire show so far, is him being kind of making decisions and then flaking on them because of his cowardly nature, but or not cowardly nature, but his trauma he's experienced in the past. But in the last few episodes, he's, you know, kind of started being able to deal with it, and he hasn't been doing it at all from what I can remember. Sure, he's like, yeah, let's go see Hina, but then thinking about it while walking there, coming to the mature realization of like, we broke up 12 years ago, and me showing up out of nowhere is going to be weird as fuck. And it's a mature fucking thing that I don't know if I'd be strong enough to do, to decide to leave it be.
Yeah, I did like that, and I liked that aspect. But the one thing about this episode that was a bit, I understand it's the human reaction and everything. It's just it felt like they played it up a little too much with, because they did it a lot where he's like, even after she's dropping these obvious hints, he's like, oh no, she probably hates me, like, because that was most of the episode was them not talking to each other, and Takamichi a lot of the time just convincing himself over and over that Hina probably hates him. And I understand that's a human reaction. I understand that's a very, like, it's very, what's the word, accurate to what would happen. It's just the fact that it was played up so much. I don't know. I guess it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And too much for me either. It wasn't fun seeing him flounder back and forth. Meanwhile, I understand, because trying to convince you something different from what you've seen, what you're seeing, especially with romantic feelings, it's natural and sometimes good, because sometimes a random show of affection can sometimes be misconstrued as feelings of love, which might be blown out of proportion, and someone who might not want to deal with that rejection, if for whatever reason, and in Takamichi's recent kind of being in a vulnerable state of mind after everything that's been happening and the supernatural things he's dealing with, I don't think he would be ready to handle a rejection.
Yeah.
Well, he might be able to, but I don't think he wouldn't feel ready to handle one. That's for fucking sure.
Although the one thing he said that kind of bothered me is him going, Hina wouldn't remember me. It was 12 years ago. And I'm just sitting here like, I think she would, because you two went through a lot of traumatic events together. You don't just forget almost getting fucking killed twice.
Yes.
You don't forget your fucking boyfriend, like middle school boyfriend, fighting 4 guys and choking him out while his other friend's bleeding on the fucking floor and he gets shanked with a fucking knife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I feel like the wording could have been a lot better. Like if he said, I don't know if she'd care for me anymore. That would have been better than I don't think she'll remember me, because
I mean, he kind of made every single argument, because like, oh, she's moved on, she doesn't remember me, she wouldn't like me anymore. Oh, is that the necklace I bought her? No, she must have bought a similar one. No, it can't be mine. I'm imagining things, because he just didn't want to accept what he was seeing and feeling. He wasn't making one excuse. He was making every single fucking excuse he could possibly think of.
I
Hmm.
guess, yeah. It's just
So, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I guess, yeah. It's just I don't know. There were a lot of things this episode I liked, but there were also a lot that I didn't like and was apprehensive about. So
Yeah,
it's a
same.
very mixed episode.
Same, honestly. I'm like sitting here thinking about this. Like, actually hearing you two talk about it makes a lot more sense for me. Because I was like, I felt not happy with this episode entirely. Like part of it was like really good, and the other part I'm just like, like, where do I put this? What am I trying to say? Um, like I agree with you, Makan. Hearing you talk about it, I'm realizing how much more how human and realistic this kind of behavior was. And I'm someone who's always advocated for like, no, like our characters should strive to be more human, down to their flaws. Um, it's just I also agree with Naoto. It's been 2 hours and you guys haven't really said anything to each other, and they're so obviously blushy and cute. But then again, it's because we're seeing it from a side perspective. Imagining it, what's going on inside of Hina's or Takamichi's head is, their experience could be vastly different. Hina's still an absolute cutie and sweetheart, by the way, just sitting there like shyly, like shifting side to side, which my brain went horny. But it was great to see the relationship in past. I okay, I think I'm realizing I'm finding it as I'm talking about it. I kind of wish that they got to engage a little bit more. Yes, the scene of like the climax of the engagement during after the car crash and he about to explode and half of her lower body is at least half of her lower body has been cut open. Yeah, surprisingly brutal. I wasn't sure if we were going to be shown it, by the way, and then we like switched to the Akun scene. I'm like, oh, we're seeing this happen. Okay, let's go. Uh, like that was a great scene. I kind of wish we got a little bit more of that. Otherwise, it again continues to feel like a weekly shonen where it's like scenes that I feel like could have been, expounded upon and kind of have already come to fruition is constantly being sidelined and pushed to the back and delayed until like the big payoff, 200 episodes in. And I also don't understand why Akun is still, doing this, why they had to take it away from us again. But I guess that's part of the drama. I don't know, just something about the episode doesn't sit well with me,
It
but it's still plenty of enjoyable content in it.
Want to know what it is for me?
Eh.
The thought we had last week of how they were going to get him to go back in time was infinitely more interesting to me. The idea of Hina being alive, but now because Takamichi had this friendship with Draken and Mikey, learning that something happened with them and he has to go back in time to fix that, that would have been infinitely more interesting to me than just, well, let's reset the status quo.
Yeah, moving away to
Yeah.
some other reason he needs to continually change the past more. I think I would enjoy that more. Like whatever is happening between Draken and Mikey, or whatever enemies they have made, and because Takamichi is involved with them now, puts him and his loved ones in danger, might end up with Hina maybe even getting killed or being put in dangerous situations because of his association, and him trying to deal with that, maybe helping Toman get to where they'll be able to be what they are, and then getting out of it before he gets too dragged in, or something like that. I agree. It would have been more interesting, but this is the way it decided to go. And as far as shonen goes, I think there's been worse motivations and worse ways of handling it, and I I I, I agree that ideas could have been better, but just the scene of the car driving, I'm like, all right, so it's just gonna cut away, and then just showing her how the car Hina's sitting in is just gets crumpled to half its size into the wall. I think that was the most brutal part of it for me, really.
Oh, absolutely. And like this is without a doubt the most brutal episode we've seen, or at least the most brutal scene. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
glad to know that the show isn't going to shy away from that. Like that is a thing I think to its plus, where it's like it's going to show us a lot of gravity and like heart aching scenes, both because of its brutality, but also like Makan put it perfectly. Like just it's the Steins Gate effect, right? It's just going constantly back in time and failing over and over again. And like there's this one line in Steins Gate Zero, and I'm not going to voice act it because every time I start crying because it's just so fucking sad. But one character also has to go back in time, and they realize what the main character had to do and how many times he has done it throughout the timeline, and they literally break down crying, realizing, holy fucking shit, this is the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of these rare occasions where I think the execution was done really well, but I didn't like the concept because I was so excited to see Hina and Takamichi interact. We didn't get much of that. I was so excited to see her as more of a character, not more of a character, but more present throughout the show and even throughout the future because we go back to the future every now and again and it's usually just Naoto and Takamichi going and doing some investigating. But I was excited to be like, okay, well, if he goes back in time for other reasons, now Hina might be tagging along. Like they might bring Hina in on this.
I think
It's
what we
just
want, correct me if I'm wrong, mate, but I think what we want from this is an actual relationship between Ina and Takamichi, and the show's not
Yeah.
fucking giving it to us.
Yeah, that is not a relationship. That is like, you want to be my girlfriend? Sure. And then they don't fucking interact with each other ever.
They're a plot device. Their relationship is a plot device, and I'm realizing that's also something I'm being very frustrated with this show because I agree with you, Leap. I would have loved for there to have been at least an episode. Like it's like I know Sword Art Online gets a lot of flack, a lot of it's well deserved. Some of it I think is just hating on the popular thing. But the I stand by my statement. The relationship, I think it was like episode 6 and 7, that Kirito and Asuna got to have, and then with Yui in the little log cabin by the lake. That was fantastic. And I would have loved to have an episode where Takamichi and Hina go on a date. It would have made this scene hurt so much more.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't think, I mean, maybe, right? I don't know the storyboard. I don't know how it's going to play. Maybe we are going to get that in the next arc, in the next time loop. But in this case, it doesn't feel like they could do it, right? Because they reset the status quo and they've kind of created this sense of foreboding futility. And I want Takamichi to defeat it, but because of how much it's dragged its feet with his character development actually coming to fulfillment, like coming to fruition, like actualizing on the character development, that whole like mid-season or like last third issue that we had a few episodes ago, I'm worried we're not going to get it. I'm worried we're just going to be sitting around for a whole nother season of Takamichi just fumbling around trying to figure out how to do something. And I get it. That's realistic, but we still need the, I don't know what to call it, pacing. The show needs to deliver a little stronger on its moments.
It's not the pacing that's the problem. I guess it has a problem with the pacing, but we have been fine with how the story's been progressing so far, so I wouldn't say it's a pacing issue. It's the problem of us not getting payoff on what we're interested in, which is Takemichi's character growth.
Hmm.
it's just it's been frustrating and I I don't know. This show is perplexing for me. Also, it's a shonen action show, and there's not a whole lot of action. Or, okay, no, there's action. It's just, I think we also need to get. I want to see Takamichi fights more. I want to see him
Yeah.
like get
I,
stronger.
I want to see Takemichi actually learn how to fight properly.
Yeah. I also wanna cut my proverbial teeth on some meteor action. Like, yes, the gang brawl was cool, but we didn't really get a lot of it. Like, we got shown what everyone does and how they fight, but there was like one, maybe two scenes per character. The Mikey
I
fight
mean,
with Hanuma didn't really I mean, we got it. It was short. It was satisfying. But like thinking about it, it's not satisfying. I still would like more. Uh, hell, show us. Hina has hit
Like,
people harder than Takamichi.
Yeah, like
eh, I do want to say I have a problem with the gang brawl that I haven't really been able to manage to think up how to word. I don't like that they introduced around like 10 characters that wasn't in the show before the gang brawl to use them in the gang brawl instead of just using the characters they've established so far.
I disagree.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
It reminds me of every big shonen where it's like, oh, these are the 13 captains of the Soul Society, or
Yeah,
these are the 8 captains of the Fire Force, these are the 9 Hokage. It just reminded me of
it,
that.
it's just
Mm,
putting more bodies on the board to fill it out, so it's not just Draken and Mikey beating the fuck out of everyone, because that would seem
Yeah.
far too unrealistic, even though they're already stupidly strong.
Yeah, because like fucking Fire Force did it, Bleach did it, Demon Slayer does it. It reminds me of that. And I I can't think of any times I think that trope was done especially well. No, I think it was done well in Bleach. Actually, in Bleach, I think it was done well, but it reminds me of the, oh, this is the obligatory. These are the captains of the faction our main good guys a part of.
mm.
Hey, if the trope can be done well, and it has been done well in a few shows, but that's because they were granted a lot more time and a lot more setup and given time to actually flesh out the characters instead of showing this is how they look, this is how they fight. There you go.
Oh my god, are we getting a
And
Takamichi training arc? Sorry, I just saw what chat said. I'm like, oh, that's a good point.
yeah, I mean, I'd be down for that because I fucking training arcs are fun. But I can give you three examples of three different shows who have done the introduce a lot of characters and then have them fight in like a big thing and have it feel kind of natural. One who did it over a real long fucking time was Naruto, with introducing everyone in the fucking Shunin exams and shit like that. Because that's a lot of fucking characters, but it also established all of them by showing their motivations, purposes for fighting, and how they fight.
I think we're gonna
So,
get that in the second season, though, right? Like, I see what you
I,
mean. It is very shonen to just have everyone appear and introduce themselves
I,
through a big battle.
yeah, I hope so, but it's kind of putting the cart before the horse. My second example, and meeting like this, is Jujutsu Kaisen, because they introduced a lot of characters, did a tournament arc with them, which established a lot of their personalities and fighting styles, and now they can use these characters for what's coming up in the future.
Mhm.
Fuck yeah, that tournament arc was great. Like
Yeah,
Toto, my boy.
those were the two I was gonna say first because the ones I could think of. Though I have a third one, My Hero Academy. They also had a fucking tournament arc, and which establishes a lot of fucking characters really fucking fast, who they can then use for big, large scale fights. People always shit on tournament arcs, and I think that's bad because that means anime is gonna move away from it. Tournament arcs are great at introducing a lot of characters really fast in a really good way.
Oh yeah, like I know why a lot of people don't like tournaments arc is because, oh, there aren't stakes usually, and I guess some anime don't put stakes in them, but honestly, you can put a lot of stakes in a tournament arc as long as they're personal. Sure, lives probably won't be lost, but like in My Hero, they put a lot of personal stakes into that, and that's what makes you care.
Yeah, it also
Jujutsu Kaisen,
showcased a lot of their like motivations and personalities.
yeah,
Literally all of the shows I mentioned had a lot of stakes in their fucking tournament arcs.
yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen went, hey, let's introduce all these characters. Oh, now Hanmi is here. But let's have Gojo flex once again.
Yeah, I never understood the hate on
It
tournament arcs. Like, you're watching a
had a,
shonen. Is it because it's
yeah,
like it's everyone does it, so you hate it because it's common? Like, I don't understand. I never understood that critique with heavy quotation marks around it.
It's I. It's because a lot of shonen also do it poorly. Like I can think of a couple that have done it not well.
also I thought up something. I'm not gonna go into it while we're talking about Tokyo Avengers, but remind me to bring up this point again in the Graveyard Tour if I don't remember it. But with that, finishing our talk about other shows and how they work with their term and also introducing characters, and how Tokyo Revengers kind of messed up by doing it in the reverse order. Um, do we have anything else we want to talk about?
Not really.
I
Or
do.
at least not for me.
Yeah. Guess we'll get to. I'll get to that point in the cards, but remember how at the beginning of the show we were talking about how Takamichi is definitely a bottom? Yeah, this shot specifically, I'm like, Takamichi's gonna ask Draken and Hina to peg him.
Oof.
Yikes!
Look at that pose. I mean, nothing wrong with it. Takamichi, I hope you do. I do, in fact, hope you get to live your best life, because that seems to be the motivation of the show. Also, Naoto is fantastic in this episode. Just angry dad. He's more of an adult than everyone in the fucking room.
Anyone who had to deal with knowing both people in a relationship or who are trying to get a relationship and seeing those fuckers just pussyfooting around when they're both liking each other, it is the most infuriating shit.
But also, he's kind of a shit, right? Because he's just like, oh, I'm not your best friend. Like, you're kind of a trash person, and I'm just like, yo, Naoto, why are you being a dick, Naoto? Huh?
This, just to bounce off of what you said, Makan, it gives me the energy of, this is what it feels like to watch a standard romance anime. I'm not gonna lie, I had those feelings at times when watching Adachi Toshimura, but they were just so goddamn cute that I wanted to keep going. I still love that show.
It's why you can't stomach romance anime, because I'm like, you fucking pieces of shit!
No, the difference is, like, a romance anime that's going to prolong their relationship at least needs to have introspection to each character and express to us why there is a conflict and what is keeping them from actualizing the relationship that we as the viewer are aware of, but they are having a difficulty with. Unfortunately, here, Ina is trying to do her best, and Takamichi's constantly convincing himself to the other. And, like, I get it. Takamichi hasn't dealt with the things that have really traumatized him. He got a win, but, like, the main issues of his life still remain, right? Because he said, like, this isn't right. Like, I'm still a fucking single, like my apartment, I live in a small trashy apartment. I'm single and I work in a fucking, video store. Like, what would she want with me? Like, that's shit that he still needs to go through and deal with. Because even if they got into a relationship right now, Takamichi probably would constantly be worried she'd leave him or worried that he's not good enough for her. And that's not a healthy relationship dynamic to exist in.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Can't wait for the Way of the House Husband arc.
Oh my god, that's right, because he is going to become like pseudo Yakuza.
I mean, I guess, but he's never gonna get on the fucking same level as God, I forget his name.
Yeah.
I know. I can see Takamichi being a house husband, and Hina teaches first grade, which, if I'm remembering correctly, I think being a teacher in Japan is actually pretty good money, isn't it?
I mean, it's a respectable job.
It's actually, I think the Way of the House Husband guy is actually named Taka. So that's funny.
Shall we hold up cards, boys?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Sure. Mind if I go first?
Go ahead.
Very apprehensive, but I am gonna give this the fuck. If next episode goes back to Takamichi being like, I'm gonna change, but doesn't do anything, I might drop it. But for now, it is getting the fuck from me.
We're always sitting there holding the knife to this show's throat, saying, if it does this again, it's dying. But at the same time, at this point, I'm just gonna sit here and go, okay, at least you haven't regressed yet. But the moment you do, I'm dropping you because I'm not dealing with you going through that again. And I know I'm just repeating what Meep says, but it's a fair point. The show has kind of gone through a lot of bullshit dealing with how we get here. Well, I kind of get it. I don't think it's that well handled and how we just went through the same motion several times over. Sure, give some more realism to how long it takes to actually try and get over something, but at least have it be more of a prolonged thing with more intense stakes and situations, which gets us there instead of just floundering on the same issue several times. But as it is right now, the sheer fucking conviction and the lofty goal of how everything will be solved if he manages to complete it, that has me hopeful that things are gonna actually keep changing for the better in this show. And I'm fucking it.
I sit here and I have to question whether or not I am experiencing sunken loss fallacy in sense of like, well, we've already spent this much time with the show, we might as well keep watching it. Or if I genuinely care about the plot. The weird thing is, listening to you guys talk made me realize that it's both. I do want to see Takamichi grow and, actualize on that energy that he had at the end of the episode. Whilst, like, he's the crybaby hero, right? Because, like, he cried when he saw Aku and he still works for What's-Her-Face, which sucks. And then, like, he saw Hina and he immediately started crying. And I don't dislike that about him because he's an emotional person and I think that's one of his strengths. However, and I do want to, and I love Hina, and I want to see her saved, and I am invested in Mikey and Draken, right? Like I was upset. I'm like, Draken better not fucking die. Like I am interested in seeing where the story will go. I want to see how this gets resolved. I want to see where it will end. That being said, the way the show has been executing its story, dragging its feet with actualizing on character development and actually having things of matter take place and then rushing in and taking it away with like a restart of the status quo or another tragedy without like the show continues to interest me but not hit its marks with me. And that's from a personal standpoint. I am also going to fuck this episode. I because I do want to see where it goes, but I share Meep's hesitations and trepidations with this show because I'm still kind of not resolved. My feelings toward the show are not resolved from when it, just at Takamichi, I'm a change, gets beat up and starts crying, I'm useless. I'm a change, gets beat up, tied up, and starts crying, I'm useless. And then I'm a do it, and then still just keeps fucking crying and not doing anything. Hasn't really left me. So I'm hoping that the show is going to allow the story and characters to actually progress moving forward. That the stage is fully set, and now we can see it acted upon fully.
Yeah, I and I think I do want to think this show will get better because I've heard a lot of good things about the next arc. Not spoilers, obviously, but I've heard people saying that the next arc is the best arc of the manga. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
am interested to see. But like this episode survived for me just based on the strength of that scene with Hina and Takamichi at the end.
Yeah.
If we didn't have that, this would have been a knife. I will be completely honest, because this, other than that and some other choice moments, this episode didn't do a whole lot for me.
I mean, I agree. Bless you.
Kisaki, Kisaki is frustrating to me. Just like the fact that we have a face and a name to him. Like, sure, it's meta knowledge. We know. No, it's not even meta knowledge. Now to told Takamichi to keep them from meeting. It's just nothing. He's just. God. I've given this show so many chances. Don't screw it up this time, show. Please. But.
Yeah, Tokyo Revengers is a fascinating show because like we're all enjoying it, but we're all like frustrated with it, and we want more out of it. But oh well, such is life.
Honestly, there have been so many times where we've been like, okay, we have the knife to you. Just do better. Get that B plus.
I will say one
How
last.
can I see?
I will say one last thing before we move on. I appreciated that we kind of got to see the ending of the show kind of acted out before us. Why she goes to that park and stares at the Ferris wheel and wears the necklace. Poor girl is missing her boyfriend, and like I'm also okay. I know we just hold up cards, but this is one thing I wanted to discuss real quick. Is it really that strange that I find it weird that she's hung up on this one relationship for 12 years? That does not sound healthy. You dumped me. Pulls out a knife. How could you dump me, Takamichi?
I I wouldn't say she's been hung up on it for 12 years, but I think she looks back at it a lot because they went through some very traumatic stuff, and when he broke up with her, it probably came out of nowhere because she's aware that like Takamichi has these two different like personalities, and the fact that she doesn't get to see mature Takamichi anymore probably really hurt.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Because she
Yeah,
did notice the difference between the two of them.
yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
she
think.
did.
Sure, she might have gotten real hung up on him, but and that yeah, I don't think that would be a thing that happens normally. But I've seen people get hung up on people who they can admit weren't good for them, but they still want to be with and think about even years later. And sure, she could have moved on, or maybe the idea when she tried to date someone else just, well, this isn't the boyfriend I had before. I want that. It's issues of the heart is never simple, and
Ain't that the truth?
everyone's situation with it is always different, and how it gets dealt with for every person, even if they might move on, they might never love again, even if it is a simple early relationship. That might be what it is.
Yeah, completely agreed.
Oh, sounds. What was that?
I mean, I for one, I've
She,
been single for many years, and think that was a middle school relationship I had actually. And after that, I didn't really feel like dating again.
Oh my god, are you Takamichi?
Apparently,
Will you be the voice of Takamichi in the English dub?
sure. Get me in
so
contact with people.
nah, I'm sure Mark Allen Jr. already has that role booked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a steal this fucking
Honestly,
job.
I think he'd be a good fit for Takamichi.
So, is that everything on the Tokyo Revengers, guys?
Yep, I've said everything I need to say.
Yep, just give me one moment, and I will be ready. Alrighty. That is a trifecta, albeit with a knife behind each of our backs, for Tokyo Revengers episode 12. Fucking surviving by the skin of its teeth for a couple weeks on end now.
On the
Or not a
real.
couple. Uh, let's move on to Shadow's House, episode 12. Kate takes a veiled doll uniform and sneaks into grandfather's wing while the other dolls are cured of their affliction. Kate investigates the wing and eventually finds Emiliko after much searching, but is caught by Edward.
I really liked fucking Edward's villainous Kato-sama.
Yeah, although I'm in a weird spot with this episode. I
Huh?
enjoyed what I saw. I don't have a whole lot to say though. This is a first for me with this show.
I think this episode continued to do what it did well, and that was to showcase the different Shadows' personalities and powers. Uh, the oh, I'll get to one thing that I took issue with, but like we got to see Louise, express her personality beyond herself. We saw Patrick kind of stand up for what he believes in, and we're starting to see that, you know, like I said, he's just a good boy, but the culture of the Shadow House has made him, you know, act like a pretentious, jaded snob. We see Sean and John being the fucking absolute dumbass boys that we love and adore. Uh, we see Kate's resourcefulness and bravery and dedication, and then we also see Edward's power, which is just, I think he just can control sound, period, if not just his voice. He doesn't know how to play the piano. He just pretends to play the piano and makes the sounds with his mouth. That's the real secret behind Edward.
Ah!
Um, and we also saw a little bit more personality of his two friends? Question mark? Accomplices? Teammates? Farquaad and Little Red Pink Hood.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like they're like all strict. Also, this show continues to be a video game for me. I don't care what you say. Uh, she now has to avoid nightly rotations as people look out for her. Like it's a stealth mission.
The
And there's so much point and click kind of dialogue and just feeling behind the show that like I can't not see it as a video game.
I'll be perfectly honest. It reminds me of like the fucking, I don't know if this PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 fucking Harry Potter games.
Oh my god.
That's the fucking shit that it reminds me of if I'm supposed to compare it to a video game.
When you sneak through the maze, the dungeon. Yeah.
And like jumping through the fucking like flying staircase and hallways and stuff. It's just I can't imagine Shadows House as a video game apart from it being like a low polygon PS2 or PS1 game.
I don't know. I could see it being like a Professor Layton game. Well, but yeah, I can also see where you're coming from, and also now fucking Harry Potter going Flipendo is like playing in my head over and over again.
the one thing I did find funny about this episode, I found it very comedic. So Emiliko, right? She's forced to chug like twice her body weight
Right.
in water to cure her soot sickness. Sean has to get the shit kicked out of him. He gets the soot beat out of him. Ricky, but you're Ricky. Oh, Louise, you're cute. Oh.
Yeah, I'm upset.
I violently hate that, and I feel like that's just a hand waving thing, as they don't have time to give it the full birth it needs as they're
Exactly.
moving towards the finale.
I think that is
It
the
was
weakest
so
part of this
dumb.
episode, and kind of offensive to how good the show has done. How good the show has done its characters, and how
was
good the
so
show.
fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's fucking it's offensive to both fucking Ricky and Lou, because it's just like, yeah, you're weak characters who doesn't really matter as much.
I
as,
think it's offensive to Emiliko and Sean.
No, I think otherwise, because that proves that they have more character. We can actually make a scene like this for them. We can't for the other ones apparently, because they're just like, I like you. Oh no, I'm back.
Yeah, fucking Emiliko gets waterboarded and Sean gets the soot beat out of him, and these guys just come back with a little affection and affirmation. What the fuck?
I don't think it was ever the waterboarding that did it for Emilico. I think it was the like sheer affection that Kate showed her, and the same is for why it worked for John. And Sean was just the sheer fucking raw emotions of beating the fuck out of each other. But the other ones didn't have any hard emotions like that.
Like, Patrick could have been like... Yeah, go ahead.
I understand that they didn't have enough time, but it was so fucking stupid. I was laughing.
If they didn't have enough time, have them still be mind controlled and have that be a problem instead.
Yeah. Like, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Nate, but that was like... To call it underwhelming would be underwhelming.
No, I didn't enjoy it. It was so bad. I was fucking laughing.
Well, that's what I meant, yeah. Like, with Patrick, we could have had a situation where he, like, looked at Ricky, he's like, no, he's like, stop referring to her as that doll, it's Emiliko, your friend, and he's like, I don't have friends, I'm like, Ricky, look into Patrick's soul, you are his face, think, would Patrick really feel this way right now? And then Ricky's like, oh my god, you're right, and that would have brought him back, right?
10 seconds more and it would have fucking fixed that scene.
Fucking Louise is just like, Louise one at least made sense. Just like, oh, you know, maybe this, like, I normally wouldn't help people, but I also realized I also don't. Louise continues to be a petty fucking bitch. It's like, I fucking hate Edward, so I decided to help him. But also, this could have happened to you, Lou, and I would hate, you know, and I don't know what Louise would do if Lou got abducted, and she was like, huh, but yeah.
She's
So,
definitely self-centered, and I mean, I kind of get that one. I still think it's way too fucking weak.
same.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I'm glad you could find a laugh in it, Meep. It just made me fucking angry.
Same. It's well, not
That's
angry, just a huge disappointment because like this show's done so well by and with its characters, and just it's a disservice to itself.
I don't blame you. It's just it was so fucking stupid, and all I can think about was like how all I can think about was Emiliko and Sean finding out about this and just being like, oh, and it just fucking made me laugh. Like Sean and Emiliko, truly the most tragic of anime characters. It was it was so fucking stupid. It was poorly handled, badly done. But
Yeah,
oh Jesus, if it didn't get a strong laugh out of me.
because like you have the two previous scenes play out as big character moments, and yes, the council that the young shadows have created with themselves trying to figure out how to rescue Emiliko, you know, the Emiliko retrieval arc. Um, like all that is fine and dandy, but you've already shown that our expectations for this situation and the context should be serious character moments. So it is a massive, underwhelming disappointment, and like even like it kind of feels like the rug got pulled from underneath our feet. Like that the show just did that disservice to Patrick and Ricky and Luis and Lou.
They've been setting it up like these four and Shirley, if she is able to be revived in some way, and they find the veiled doll of rum. I'm hoping that happens, kind of, because I miss them. But they've set up these characters like they're the main characters of our story. This episode has served to reduce both Ricky Patrick, Lou, and Louise to side characters.
I mean, Sean and John as well.
No, not as much.
Not as much, but they still got relegated to side characters.
They were playing a more subdued role, but they still had their moment of importance of how their issue was solved instead of being handled like, yeah, it works out.
I don't remember which one of you degenerates said this last week, but when Louise used her soot powers in this episode, my brain just fucking heard the joke you guys made and was just like, ah, she got the veil doll to help them by spitting in their mouth.
Yeah, I did because it's essentially what she did to Lou.
Fuck. You ruined it for me.
Not even a fucking joke. She fucking grabbed her shin, opened her mouth, and fucking expunged oral fluid into her fucking mouth.
It wasn't fluid.
Honestly, I think
The oral
from
substance.
last week, Dal, I think you're no, Macan, not you too. I think that might be my best laugh though.
No, Lahar, not you too.
Yeah, I'm referring to you by my fucking D&D character.
My disappointment
Don't
is
say-
immeasurable.
Dal, don't say Lahar. Minty will join the call. It doesn't matter if she's not in the server.
I heard first.
Yeah, no, I'm also looking at chat and I see them saying like, "Oh, excuse me." It's getting really hot in my room. Fucking seeing them go like, it was great to see John going, John punch, because this fucking dumbass barbarian good boy, as well as Louise. I don't know if I took that. I don't know if I had this takeaway, but chat's saying like maybe it's because Louise maybe it's Louise is upset because Edward doesn't see her as a threat and is not focusing on her. Like she's just like, well, then like fuck him. Why is he not paying attention to me? Why is Kate getting all the attention? I personally don't feel like that's the case. I just think she realized that Edward could fuck with her, so she's happy to fuck with him now.
The subdued or actually pronounced reasons for why she is helping the way she is all make perfect sense for her character, and none of it really like because of that. There's no really need for me to speculate why she does it if it's not for the reasons she said, because the reasons she said completely falls in line with who she is, and she would have totally done that because hey, she might fuck with her, or I just don't like him.
Yeah, it's honestly like with the shadows, the way they've been acting make perfect sense. It's just the whole problem I had was just the way that fucking Patrick and or I think it was Ricky and Lou get reversed from their mind control.
Mm-hmm.
That's the weakest part of this episode. Now let's talk about the rest of it. So,
Edward is a treasure.
I mean, he's a silly Machiavellian villain, and I actually like how over the top he is. Also, it's funny.
He's the
Huh?
Meep, you say he's a treasure. He's a treasure in the same way a blood diamond is.
Ugh. Woof.
yes,
Woof.
and he's our only compelling antagonist this season.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
What other antagonists are there?
but I like how flawed Edward is because he's like trying to be like, bitch, like tell me about Kate, I'll fucking kill you, and she's like, I don't care. And fucking Emilico pretending to eat bread. I feel like half
fucking idiot.
half to honestly, I think more than half to convince herself she's actually full. I think it actually worked.
Yeah, no, it definitely fucking worked because Emilico's superpower is her sheer fucking stupidity.
Her sheer will and stupidity.
Her delusions are her power.
Yeah, it was incredible. But then like Edward, like he's just like, I'll fucking kill you, and she's like, I don't care, like I'll starve you. And it's like, okay, and Edward's like, what are you doing? And then she's like, I'm eating bread. He's like, we can't see his face because he's in a shadow form, but I just imagine his face is just like flabbergasted, just like, what the fuck do I say to this? And then he like storms off, sits down, and he's just like, think, Edward, think, you got this. And he almost did. He almost did. He sat down, he's like, I'm trying to help you.
Think, Edward, think! If you don't give the girl bread, she'll make it herself.
I just imagined like immediately like, all right, tell me about kids. She's like, no, come on, tell me, no. And then he's just kind of sitting there like, huh, I thought that'd work.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help Kate. There are people who are after her. She's gonna get what's it called? Not demoted. Discarded. But also, yeah, he fucked up his openings. Like, tell me about Kate. She's a malcontent, right? And he was like, what? No, fuck you. And then he's like, all right, well, Kate's gonna get discarded. I'm trying to help her. I need to know. Tell me like about Kate so I know how I can help her. And he almost had Emilico, and then he couldn't help but fuck up and be like, yeah, tell me about fucking Kate and how it's like she's like hiding shit from Shadow's house and how she's constantly causing problems. What did she want to do, Emilico? What did she want to do? And I'm like, you almost had it. He almost had it, you fuck. You almost fucked it.
Yeah, because he was putting on this gentle female voice that's supposed to be comforting by the sounds of it, and then ruins it by
being himself.
Be antagonistic about it.
Because
if he had like, oh, could you tell me about Kate? We've been, I know her for a while ago, and blah blah, and make up some lies about that while acting friendly. I think Emilico might have actually spilled something, but him being hostile and already making accusations towards Kate is just like, no, I'm not telling you shit.
Yeah. Like, again, I enjoy his flaws.
I really like Edward. Edward is fantastic. He's fucking great. He's a dumbass, a showman, but I love him.
He's an entertaining antagonist, that's for damn sure.
I don't know if I'd go as far as say he's like the best antagonist, but that's a conversation for the awards.
Yep, and I wouldn't go as far as say it either. Maybe we'll see when we talk about it, but he's for sure entertaining. He's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. I do enjoy him.
Guess the grandfather, but
To it, we're not there yet.
Yeah. And now to talk about the little like, I'm just gonna ask you guys a question. What's in the fucking box? Or I guess in
I'm
this
assuming
game,
rum.
crypt, tome. I don't know. Tomb.
I'm assuming it's rum.
I'm assuming it's rum too. Yeah, but then
I
why
don't-
would
I don't-
Suit be coming off of
Yeah,
there?
no, yeah, no, I don't think it's wrong because soda's coming out of there. There's probably some locked up shadow in there.
But Baby
That's,
Shirley was there.
Yeah, maybe Shirley, but I mean, she was also in the room with them before. I think she's just been following Kate.
Aww, Baby Shirley's following Kate. Is it weird that Baby Shirley has more personality than previous Shirley?
No, because she didn't manage to make one, and she had the brimming, lasty, like she was just on the verge of making one when she perished, and I think that
Perish.
brimming personality she had transferred over to the next incarnation. But from what they've said before, they get destroyed immediately, and I think while she was being destroyed because she didn't manage to make personality, the little personality she managed to make, instead of destroying her outright, made her reborn into her base state.
Weird to see. Honestly, you know what? Oh no, I was gonna say, you know what that like scene with the box made me think of? It really made me feel like this is like the optional area that if you unlock it changes the story. Like it's some forbidden power that's like you don't have to do this mission, but if you do, it gives you a completely different ally. I kind of got that vibe, but also now that I'm thinking about it,
New game plus secret room.
yeah, the new game plus room.
Want to hear something sad that I just realized?
Hold on. Before you do that,
Sorry.
now that I was thinking about it, anyone here played the Mega Man Battle Network games?
No, I did not.
No. Basically, I got Bass vibes off of that scene where it's just like you're in a place where you're not supposed to be, and there's some dark power there, but if you defeat it,
Say me anything, but alright.
What made you sad, mate?
For this season, of the shows that were randomly chosen, Shadow's House is the only survivor.
I mean, we're down to 4 now, 3 shows now, 2 shows. Yeah, that the math checks out.
We had 7 randomly chosen ones, and 6 of them were just shit.
Well, it's not that they were shit. It's just they fell out. Well, yeah, no.
Yes. Some of them were shit right from the get go. Some of them started out well, but quite quickly fell off.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Like I'm looking at our roster right now. There's a couple of like shows there, but all of them, yeah, ultimately did fall off. Oh, also looking at our roster, there's a number of shows there that are just dog shit. So, yippee.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had so much false hope for Full Dive.
Yeah, that's on you, buddy. But anything you guys want to talk
Listen.
about Shadow's House? Since you know we're talking about Shadow's House.
No, I don't actually think so.
I have to admit, our attention. No, Makan, you're killing it today. But Meep and I, no, my and Meep's attention spans today are. Woo!
Yeah, I
Well, I
really
didn't
had
have
to
a lot-
reel both of you in, huh?
I didn't have a lot to say about either Super Cup or this episode. Tokyo Avengers was the only one I felt super strongly about.
Yeah, no, fair enough, fair enough.
I kind of meant just us going on tangents the entire time.
Yeah. Anyway, Kate, Solid Kate is currently in a bind. The alert theme is playing, and I'm very curious to see. Honestly, I kind of want to see a sit fight. I want to see Kate blast this motherfucker through a door.
That'd be fucking cool.
Fucking the next episode opens with the theme again, and then we just get the dramatic music flare. Also, really like the music in this show. It's really good. The fucking main theme rendition that was playing, but when they were like executing their plan was fantastic. But yeah, no, the I lost my train of thought. Yeah, just the next episode opens up with this dramatic music, swell of music, and then just touches right back off with like Kaito-sama. And then the next shot is him just flying through a door, blasted by soot. I want that. I want this. I want the fight.
I know. I kind of wanted to just be like the intro, and they like, like the crescendo that dun 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 dun, and then just cut off there with him getting blasted the fuck out of the door.
Kate going Ultra Instinct. Dun, 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 dun.
I definitely, because like if they don't check, weird. Just part of me wants that kind of confrontation, but the other part of me wants Edward to stay around longer. I'm now realizing now maybe this might have been an adaptation issue, but it kind of feels like we went from debut to Emilico to like Edward acting against Kate and Emilico a little too fast. You know?
I think
I think it makes sense in the story because he'd want to catch and outroot that as fast as possible to further his goals because he was planning to make them fail to begin with, and he just skirted by and managed to make the debut a success for the people watching it because Shirley fucking died, which he hadn't really expected.
Yeah, and I also it is also a thing of this being an anime original ending because actually I do know what arc came after the debut arc. Do you want me to say the name of the arc?
Not this.
Hmm?
Not this.
Well, these last two episodes are only a anime
Yeah.
adaptation.
This is anime
Oh,
original.
I forgot
Anime
about that.
Yeah, this is anime original with help from the author of the manga. Because they
No,
wouldn't have enough. They didn't have enough episodes to do the next arc.
no,
Is the issue?
save it in case we get a season 2.
Okay.
All right. Shall we
Makan, if
hold
you're
up cards?
interested on seeing.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
what's up?
I was gonna say, Makan, if you're interested on seeing the name of the arc, I'll put it in spoiler names in general.
No, it's fine. I don't pay attention to that shit as well, so I'm just not going to look at it. Because if a season 2 seems to be far off on the horizon, I might just fucking start reading the manga.
Read the mango. Peel the mango.
Happy and then feel the mango.
Peel the mango. But yeah, if that's everything, should we hold up cards, guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Once again, I'll go first. Once more, I am highly anticipating the ending. This ending will probably decide how I go about things when both awards and the retrospective come, because I've been really enjoying this show, and while this episode had a misstep, I still did really enjoy this episode. I'm gonna give it the fuck.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly love this show. I'm I'm fucking this episode. I am very excited to see the climactic anime finale. Uh, just I want to see where this goes. Kate and Edward have their confrontation a lot sooner than I expected. I kind of hope I can kind of see us ending up with Kate being the main focus because she is the main character, but I still really want more of the more of the other characters. And I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna fuck this episode and patiently wait for for this next week's finale because I would like to see what happens with the characters. I would want to hear more of the music, and I want to see on what note the season ends on for both plot reasons as well as, like I said, the aforementioned characters.
Mm-hmm.
Shadows House, Shadows House, Shadows House. This show has gone up and down all around, and has been a wild ride for me the entire way through. And I came into it having some expectations of what I wanted. Those getting crushed quite quickly, and then me kind of getting somewhat satisfied with what we ended up with before I was handed something I did not know I wanted as much as I did, and it worked amazingly. That wasn't until this episode, because this show has been so character focused for me that every little thing about the characters and everything they do has so much importance and meaning and for me, and how they develop and progress is what makes this show, and that is what gives this show success to me. I have no way of punishing you for this, Shadow's House, but that can actually affect you in any way. But you don't have the fucking right to just hand wave away the most powerful person in this entire universe you've built up with a fucking kind sentence from two characters. That is insulting to those characters. It's insulting to me because you don't think I'd find it fucking stupid. And I can't deal with how fucking angry it made me because it left a poor taste in my mouth for the entire fucking episode, and it's not giving me great hopes for what's happening next show in the anime adaptation only ending. So I'd kind of be content just leaving in here and continuing the manga instead. And that's why it's getting the knife from me, because I can't punish you in the proper way, but I'll at least say this. I'm not gonna fucking accept it.
So what's the card, Macan?
A knife, like I said.
Nice. I Yeah, okay. I kind of get it. I mean, I do get it. I also was really, really, really unhappy about that, and I think they did a really bad job. Uh, but at the end of the day, it didn't bother me as much. But all right, I'm glad that you're standing up to it.
Hey, I get it. Knowing that it was an anime, knowing it's anime only, that it pulled something like this, it can. It does make you want to just be like, oh well, I'll just read the manga, which I probably will pick up after this because I don't think it's gonna get a season two. It's been doing relatively well,
Right.
but numbers wise, like
Yeah.
the amount of people that have been watching it, I don't think has been enough for season two. I don't know. Anime that have an anime only ending usually end up being a advertisement for the rest of the manga, which is why I'm a little bit like, I don't. But at the same time, the manga is there. I can go read the manga. So
I mean, don't be too discouraged about that because Oh No Exorcist had a anime only ending that lasted for about 13 episodes, I think, and it got a second season about, I think it was 4 or 5 years later.
Blue Exorcist.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of course, also it's a bit strange because you just need to ignore the 13 episode anime only ending because they acted like it didn't fucking happen.
Woof.
oof, I knew there was a reason. I was confused in season two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that did fuck with me.
like because the anime only ending of Blue X is it's kind of shit.
Yeah. With that, that is a double fuck and a knife for Shadow's House, episode 12.
Dun dun
Next week,
dun.
next week will possibly be the 13th episode of Tokyo Revengers and the 13th and finale of Shadow House. But for that, do we want to do a graveyard tour this time, or?
I would like to simply to bring up the observation I made while making a point about Tokyo Revengers. Um, it might not have been a thing that's really applicable to any of the shows we talked about, any of the shows we've killed before, but it is applicable to a show that's been on the FMK before. Man, the fucking tournament arc in Jujutsu Kaisen has a lot of fucking similarities to the Naruto Shunin X-Hats.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like,
Yeah, like main character having a spout with a person who is kind of more powerful than them, but overpowering them in the end. A outside force coming to kill the main character. Someone in the arc trying to kill the main character. It's all fucking there.
I guess I just didn't see it because the way that Jujutsu Kaisen did it just made me so interested in what's happening.
really? They
I mean,
fought on top of roofs with plants and trees.
I mean, yes, but I mean, I didn't see it either until I was sitting here talking about both of them to make the comparison. I'm like, ha!
No, I mean, I kind of get it. I mean, there's similarities, sure, but like, cause like art always inspires the art's predecessor will always inspire its I forgot the other term, but you know, it's you know, it's prodigy, it's next whatever. Art will always inspire future art. And
I mean,
how many? There are only so many ways you can do a tournament arc, and the people that do tournament arcs uniquely are the ones that get the most attention and praise.
I mean, I think Jujutsu Kaisen has done certainly well enough to stand out on his own, but I do believe the author of Jujutsu Kaisen might have been heavily influenced by Naruto, because I mean, at the same time, you can make more comparisons. Gojo being comparable to Kakashi in fucking eyewear and hairstyle, the main three cats kind of being Team 7, if you really boil it down, while being more interesting characters, in my opinion. But there's a lot of
Background sound.
similarities.
The first episode being a parody on Bleach was fucking fantastic to me.
I haven't seen much of Bleach, but like, I can sure fuck make some connections to Naruto.
The first episode is a clear parody on what Bleach set up, with Ichigo being this super powerful guy for no reason in school, like with his two friends Chad and Orihime.
I don't know, that's a bit of a stretch because like a lot. There's also a lot of noise coming from your mic, and that's a stretch. I feel like a lot of shonen anime have that kind of setup.
I mean, it might have been influenced subconsciously or consciously, the same way that I'm drawing the similarities between Naruto. But goddamn, I feel like it's kind of like a love letter and a reimagination of Naruto. It's kind of what Jujutsu Kaisen was, and kind of continues to be. Because even so far as having powerful demon inside you. Fucking hell, there's so much similar with it.
But okay, I think it does the powerful demon inside you a lot.
It does it equally well.
I guess me saying it does it a lot better is mostly with how they kind of ruined Kurama in the end of near the end of Shippuden for me.
I mean, we can't say that because we haven't seen the end of Jujutsu Kaisen, and they might become best pals and go to save the world together.
I hope they don't, because I like Sukuna being this malevolent force. The way they continuously set him up as a villain, like remind you, no, this is a bad man. He's no good. He's a big meanie head.
I mean, they also set up Kurama as an uncontrollable, unreasonable, and violent monster.
True, but I like to think the author of Jujutsu Kaisen is a better writer than that.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear where he's taking inspiration from, and let's see if he can execute it better.
Yeah, I mean, fucking now you got me thinking about how much I love JJK again. It's while it might not be my favorite anime anymore, it is definitely my favorite shonen. It is.
I
It
mean,
is the perfect shonen for me.
don't let me making comparisons to Naruto with a portray that I think it's better or anything. I spent a lot of
Well,
time as a kid watching Naruto. I thought Naruto was great and had a lot of influence on me, and me being able to compare it and call it similar in a lot of ways is, I mean, from my standpoint and how much Naruto influenced me growing up, that's a compliment.
oh no, I don't think you're using it as an insult, and I agree. There's a lot of similarities there. It's just talking about Jujutsu Kaisen just remind me how much I fucking love that show.
But yeah, I know it's gonna get you going when we talk about it,
Uh,
but I just needed to bring it up.
if Vivi didn't speak to me on such a personal and a deep emotional level, JJK would still probably be my favorite. But Vivi just had that slight edge over it.
So,
It's although as far as well, we're talking about anime in this graveyard tour. I'm not gonna say because one of the members here hasn't seen that second season yet. I will say while we're talking about endings for anime, the ending to Yukoku no Moriarty
Mm-hmm.
is one of my favorite endings to an anime. Period.
Wait, did it finish already?
It, yeah,
Oh, damn it.
it
Fuck. I need
was
to catch up on it this
fan
week.
fucking tastic. Every note it hit was amazing. If Yukoku no Moriarty was in this season, it would get my marriage purely for its ending.
All right.
I don't care that I like Vivi more. The ending alone was so masterfully done.
Okay, I need to watch Moriarty, and we need to do a session where we talk about it because, oh boy.
It's
I'll
fantastic.
sit quietly in the background because I can't watch 2 seasons of anime before then.
It's fantastic. You need to see it.
Meep, if not this week, next week we're doing this 100%. Stay in touch, and
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
we'll plan it out proper.
It should speak volumes to the defender of Vivi's ending here saying, no, Yukoku no Moriarty had a better ending. And I fucking loved that ending.
Okay, and I was just sitting there and thinking, like, should I be mean or should I just let him have that one?
What do you mean?
Because I was, huh?
What do you mean by that?
I was like, well, I mean, you're saying that to the people that were underwhelmed by Vivi's ending, so.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I was also like, I don't know. Does that mean it's going to be equally disappointing for me? Or
No, it's everything that the show sets up and promises to deliver, it delivers on in spades. Like, and we were all on the same. I feel like me, you, and Gilly were all on the same page with Moriarty by the end of the first season. Except for the dancing on the bridge episode. I'm the only one who didn't like that episode.
It was a good episode, man.
I disagree. But on the other opposite end of the spectrum, Megalobox Nomad had its ending. I was left underwhelmed by it. It.
No spoils, because I am gonna watch it.
I'm not gonna spoil. It's just I'm not gonna spoil. It's just, and I don't. I think this is only gonna be something for me. I don't think other people will be underwhelmed by it, but for me, it kind of cheapened the effect of the first season. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on the ending. The show as a whole, I still think is worth seeing through to the end. I still enjoyed Nomad to the end. It's just the ending might be a bit disappointing for you, but I also think that's just gonna be for me. I don't think you're gonna feel that way if I'm being perfectly honest.
Okay.
I also wanted to say thank you, Chat, for seemingly enjoying my ranting outburst about my opinions about Shadow's House. And why I'm my disappointed dad was a question I was asked. Because when a show starts off shitty, I might get angry over how disgustingly bad I think it is, but most of the time, I'm gonna be indifferent and uncaring about it. But when a show's been doing good for me, and when it falls, that show has become my child, and I wish it did better.
Yeah, hey, I totally get you. If a show you started out loving just got disappointing, hey, that's I I get that. I've had shows like that before. Fuck, that's kind of why I gave Akudama the knife on the last episode. Just
It's like catching my child having been doing all so good, like they clean their room and everything, and then I walk in and just fucking see them pushing just a mountain of shit under their bed, and it's just been fucking deceptive to me, and just acted like they could get away with doing something so simple.
yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. But
I
is that?
kind of felt.
Hmm?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I just I'm just gonna say I I felt the same way. I I I already mentioned it, but I felt the same way specifically with the hacker episode in Akudama.
Mm.
It's like, man, you were doing so good, but this just got so dumb.
It did get a little trigger at the end there. I know.
Yeah, it's kind of the same disappointing burning passion I had for Vivid the entire time, except it kind of burned out because I couldn't keep up the same vitriolic disappointment I had at the beginning through as long as it did, because to me it was doing so fucking well in the beginning, and then it just stopped and it went a different direction. And it's like, let's keep going with the dad analogy. It's like seeing your kid rebel, grow up, and not stop, and keep doing bad decisions over and over. And no matter what you tell them to do, and no matter what you try and do to help them stop their behavior, they seem to repeat the same mistake over and over. And I'm forced to sit here and watch and be unhappy about how their grand potential spiral out of control.
Fair enough.
I watched Loki. It's very good.
God fucking damn
Hey, let me bring up fucking mood again after Marcus smash on the fucking floor.
Damn it, you stole that because I was about to say, speaking of shows that are disappointing,
No.
I watched all of the episodes that were out of Fire Force recently.
Uh-huh.
The author of Fire Force is the author of Soul Eater. It amazes me just how much he has progressed in areas of his writing, and just how much he has regressed in areas of his writing. Because the the writing he did in Soul Eater that was good is so much better in Fire Force. The intrigue, the mystery, like the story that he sets up is, you can tell he's improved so much. But the issues he had with his writing in Soul Eater, how some of the characters were a bit bland, like how some of their motivations didn't make sense, like how some characters were one note. That is so much worse in Fire Force. It is really bad for some of the characters in it. Like, one character exists purely to be fan service. In every fight she wins by, oh, my power activated, but you saw, and my power activated, you saw my boobs, now I win.
Isn't that a bad thing?
Yes, that is a bad thing when that is the only character trait they have. It's
Is this in Fire Force?
This is Fire Force, yeah.
Is that Moshi Mosh Mama? No, girl. Is that her?
No, that's Maki. The girl it is Tamaki, cat girl.
Oh, okay.
Although some of these problems do get better in season 2, I will say this. They stop doing that a whole lot in season 2. Other character traits get better. Although there is another problem that appeared in season 2. it felt like in every arc, the characters. It felt like each arc, nothing really got gained from it. Or
That's unfortunate.
like it felt like each arc, or not each arc, it felt like a lot of arcs had no point. Like a lot of things stay the same at the end of each arc and things don't really move forward, and it's like, oh, we learned this small little bit of information off screen, this will take us to our next destination, and it's like, okay, but what was the point of the arc I just watched then? Sure, they fought, but nothing happened. It I liked it for the most part, but the problems I have with it are really. It is good, but very flawed. It's the best way I can explain it. And I can't even say that character development carries through to the arcs because it really doesn't. Because yes, in I'll say yes, in Vivi, sure, at the end of each arc, things largely stay the same, but it's also to service the character development and growth of these characters that is very important in the final arc. But in Fire Force, there's no character development. It's the characters stay stagnant, which was frustrating. Which is why I'm happy that ReZero has been delivering on a lot of that I was missing out and wanting from Fire Force. Yeah, that's essentially my talk about Fire Force and yeah.
Alright. Dal, do you want to tell us a bit about Loki that you've been watching, or?
I mean, it's a really good
Oh.
show. I won't go super into it, but it is a setup that I didn't know I wanted. Doctor Who space cop detective and Loki is a Doctor Who in this case. Honestly, I said check it out. I mean, if you dislike Tom Hiddleston's Loki character, then don't watch it. But even I, who thinks Loki's a piece of shit and don't really root for him, am enjoying the smarm and the wit, and the show is hyper aware of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Loki's flaws and plays into it. And I was not expecting Owen Wilson as Agent Mobius, the detective cop dad character, but he
Wow.
is great. Yeah, wow, Loki, that's incredible. No, honestly, like he plays the part really fucking well. There are only 3 episodes out, and I don't want to take away by telling too much. It's just watch the show. It's honestly intriguing. It gets all timey wimey, but like in a way that's Doctor Who esque without being very Doctor Who. It's fun, and we're getting more plot sprinkled in. It isn't as reference and like lore heavy as like WandaVision, but I personally think WandaVision is 3, 2, 1. But I still think the setup is great. My God, the internet has set fire. Has been set ablaze. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's a different take than Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier, because it's an extended timeline and universe. But its production value and its costume direction in terms of like just maintaining its overall aesthetic of like this late 70s, early 80s kind of like office work. I don't know, just, the show's a delight to watch. It's not perfect, but I'm honestly impressed with how well this show is being executed thus far. Also,
Alright.
Spider continues to be fucking ridiculous. And yeah, so I'm a Spider, so what continues to be fucking ridiculous and just absurd, and it's still not a good show. It's not it's not incredible. It's not super smart or brilliant, but damn it all if it's not just fucking entertaining to watch, especially with a friend.
I tried going back to it. Oops.
I should hop into the anime and see what it can offer apart from the manga. The manga doesn't. From what I've heard, it covers a lot of shit that isn't really in the manga because it adapts the light novel. But I don't know. Maybe I can glean some interesting stuff seeing the parts I loved in the manga done in the anime, and just kind of ignore the rest. Or if the rest also managed to grip me in some way, I don't know.
That reminds me, something that I think will make you two incredibly mad. I spoke to someone who I know in real life who saw it, and they hate the spider but love seeing the kids.
Oh. Whomst the fucketh?
Okay,
Whomst the fuck is...
admit them to a mental hospital.
Wait, is this still the same person that watched all of X-Arm?
No,
Okay,
don't know.
because I like them and I don't want to stop being
Yeah.
friends with them.
Yeah, no, that's a different person.
Yeah,
Because they don't know them in real life.
they live across the world.
Around the world, around the world.
Good. Let them stay there.
It's one of my no. The person who watched Spider and prefers to see the kids is someone I know personally in real life.
I mean, get them mental help. Me, they're clearly crying out for help.
Or
I
just stop knowing them personally in real life.
No,
grab
they're a
him by
good
the
friend, though.
grab them by the throat, go to a cliff, and Toy Story their ass, and go, "I don't want to play with you anymore," and just drop them.
You've seen the new Smash Bros. Character reveal, right?
Nope.
Yes.
Just do that. Just hold them over a cliff and throw them. Consume their life power.
What's the new Smash Bros. Character?
Nah, I'll do a Gilly and I'll Donkey Kong them.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, what is the new Smash Bros. Character?
It's from Tekken. It's what's his name? Kazuya?
Zangief?
No, that's Street Fighter, you dork.
Oh.
You dweeb. Yeah, Kazuya joins the fight.
Scorpio.
Anyway, boys.
Scorpio.
Shall we wrap it up here, boyos?
Yeah, I think we're just about.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to wrap up when you guys are.
Excellent. So, me boys, as always, thank you everyone so much for watching. Everyone in chat, it was good hanging out. Apologies, my energy is dipping. I've had a rough weekend, and sleep has not been on the menu. So as a result, I might have been a bit lower energy this time around. Nonetheless, Makan, where can they find you?
You can find me my hibernating Twitter account at @that_Viking, where I do nothing currently, but once again the possum shall rise, another good trash boys, and the occasional weird fuck meme that I come across. Yeah, apart from that, I don't think I'm really doing anything on the internet. At least not yet. Maybe something will happen.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Fair enough. Who knows?
It's reached 51 degrees Celsius.
You're kidding me. That's not true.
That can't be right.
Yeah, that's not real. You're lying.
To be fair, there's no clouds in the sky, so.
Okay, that's your thermostat baking in the sun.
What's your town again?
Town of Wembley.
Wembley?
Me.
I don't think I've ever heard a more Canadian town name in my fucking life.
Alberta?
Yep, I'm looking at this thermometer right now, or not thermometer. What the fuck do you call those things that have mercury in them?
Thermometer.
It's a thermometer.
Oh, thermometer. Okay.
Yeah, it's currently 35 where you are. But that being said,
Is it?
Yeah, but that being said, it is no, it's 36. Sorry, it's gonna be 41 tomorrow. So good fucking luck with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's not always accurate. It's kind of baking up and down, but it's still fucking hot. Because 51, you'd be
dead.
You'd have a fucking heat stroke.
Yeah.
I guess this thermometer is just off then.
So before Meep is dead, where can they find you, Meep?
On Twitter at Soul_King777, where you can find me ranting and raving about how I probably should have made different decisions throughout this season, because there is a show that I think there are two shows that I gave too many chances. One of them is dead, one of them isn't. I'm still making poor choices with one of them.
And are minors welcome in your on your Twitter, Meep?
No, if minors come in, I will sit them down and force them to watch X-Arm.
But why would you do that?
I
They've
mean,
spent all day working in the mines.
Well, too bad. Those are my blood diamonds.
Oh, I don't like that.
yeah, I mean, you can't go on Twitter's Meep's Twitter if you're a minor because of all the porn, but you shouldn't go on my Twitter if you're a minor either. Not because I post any harmful content, but you really shouldn't be around me if you're a minor, because my language is not fit for you.
I am surrounded by degenerates. Anyway, guys, you can catch me over at twitch.tv/DalaronQuest. That's DALARON Quest. And not only on Twitch TV, but on Twitter and YouTube too. My Twitter should be safe for 18 minus attendees. It's mostly art and nature and friends and art and D&D and art. As you guys know, you guys can catch me streaming Mondays during right here, FMK Anime. You guys can join us live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, sometimes a little bit later. You guys can welcome to jump into the Discord, which I'm sure is somewhere in the chat, or, you know, down in the doobly-doo, if you guys are watching us on YouTube. Also, if D&D is your fascination of fantastical machinations, we do our social emphasis on social simulation and roleplay campaign on Tuesdays around 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, come on through and hang out throughout the week. I should be streaming until the weather hits 30, 35 here in New York. Because that time I need my AC on, and I can't afford a new modern air conditioner, so I have to sit with my loud one, and that makes my audio sound like butt.
You call us degenerates, Dalaran.
Hmm.
My degenerate comments towards what I will do with you haven't scared you off yet.
I have endurance, to say the least. But
Oh, that's
that
promising.
let's
can
get
keep
into
that
that next time on FMK Anime when we get to the finale of Shadow House and fucking Tokyo Revengers question mark?
I mean, Tokyo Revengers Tokyo Revengers should have another episode. If they don't, well, we're not getting into it, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Alright, me boys and girls, thank you. Me laddies and me lads and lassies. Thank you so much for watching us live and joining us in chat. It's been a fun session, but this time we afraid we're gonna have to bid you adieu.
Thank you so much for watching my stream.
Thank you so much for playing my game.